Valorant, the new hip game everyone's playing. #1 on Twitch for weeks and the talk of the town on Twitter. Everyone loves playing this game and talking about this game. I've played my fair share of it, and from what I've gathered, I can confidently tell you that it is okay. It's just okay. I mean, it's alright. Valorant being a combination of both Counter-Strike Global Offensive and Overwatch was an incredible premise to me, as I've played a ton of CS and Overwatch is and has been my favorite multiplayer game. But when playing Valorant, I felt underwhelmed by what they had done. Of course, this is just a beta, but that doesn't mean I can't discuss some of the game's shortcomings. Valorant's gunplay and movement is nearly identical to CSGO. Guns have specific spray patterns and recoils that are very similar to how the guns behave in CS. The only difference is the guns in Valorant feel cheap. The cartoony art style mixed with the realistic gun physics make the guns feel weak. It's also important to note that some of the guns feel like they've been straight ripped from CS, but they just don't feel right. And I get it, it's its own game, but come on, this is not my op. I mean, it's got the same name, kind of, but you can barely move with it, and you can't quick switch. This is a clunky, slow, and embarrassing shadow of what the CS op once was. I want my baby back. Another slight issue I've encountered is that the hit detection can be a little bit off. Noticeably, the knives don't feel so great. It feels like you have to be very close to enemies to even hit them, which, I mean, makes sense, it's a knife, but it feels like the distance is a tad too far. I mean, look at this distance. I'm stabbing him! Why isn't it hitting? The movement of characters also has a few problems. Mainly the lack of boosting is an issue for me. If you haven't played CS, boosting is where one player jumps on top of a crouching player's head to climb to higher places. There are a lot of areas that are inaccessible by agents who don't have movement abilities, making them virtually useless since you can't boost to them. In Valorant, the abilities definitely take a backseat to the gunplay, which is fine, but it feels like wasted potential. For one thing, unlike in CS, smokes are abilities instead of items. 4-ish of the agents have them, and each of theirs is different. Kind of. They all do the same thing and are roughly the same size, but the difference is how they are placed. Jets is the most basic, having you just simply throw it to where you want it to go. It also lasts significantly less time than the others. Dollar Store Reapers can be placed through walls via him launching them straight through them. Brimstone Smokes can be placed based on where he places them on his minimap and last about as long as Doppel Reapers. My problem with this is, while yes, placing them is different, they both place the smoke through the wall or around the wall one way or another. So what's the point? Couldn't they have given them different attributes with their smoke? Sure, they look visually different, but serve the exact same purpose in the same way. How come Jet's smokes are so much smaller and last less time when you have less options for where you can place them? If the ability is going to be the same across all three of these characters, why not streamline it and make them all the same? Having them be sent out differently is not fun or interesting, it just seems like a lazy answer to give characters smokes and have them seem like different abilities. And Jet's being weaker makes zero sense. Her smoke has less range, so why shouldn't it be the one that lasts longer and is bigger? Especially since her kit is generally pretty bad considering movement abilities in this game are a nightmare. Jet has a jump that lets her go to high places, which is fine for maneuvering into places to hold your defenses, but in other circumstances this is kind of worthless. Just like in CSGO, jumping essentially makes your gun worthless as the accuracy of the gun goes down when in air. This is mitigated by Jet's ultimate, which allows her to throw knives with 100% accuracy even while jumping, but that is a very specific circumstance. People might just say this makes her a harder character to play, but I think it's just stupid. The other problem I have is with her blink/teleport thing. This works fine as a disengage, getting her out of a tough situation quickly, but that's it. Engaging with it is nearly impossible because it takes you 3 fucking hours to pull out your gun once done blinking. Same thing goes for Walmart Reaper's teleport. It takes way too long for this teleport to happen. By the time you get to your destination, everyone in a 5-mile radius has sights on you. It also doesn't help that the ability makes a loud noise, making sure everyone knows where you are. It makes it virtually impossible to go into sights with these abilities. It also doesn't help that the maps are built like a BDSM torture chamber because there are so many chokes. All 3 of the maps have a very funnel-like design, making it so you have to go through very small areas in order to get to the site. This shouldn't be a problem, seeing as this is how most of CS maps operate, and that works fine, except CS doesn't have Sage. You see, the chokes in Valorant's maps are very small, and there are at most only 5 of them, and that's only on the largest map, Haven. Bind only has 4, and Split only has 3. Now, using Sage's Wall, you can temporarily eliminate one of these. So on Split, you can literally give attackers 2 options of places they can go. Of course, you can break the Sage Wall, but if you're trying to go into a site with stealth, this is not an option. Having only a few chokes, especially since those chokes are super small, makes the game ridiculously defender-sided. So you may have noticed throughout this video I have refused to call this guy by his actual name. That is because it is painfully obvious how much he looks like Reaper from Overwatch. But that's fine, that's fine. A hooded, edgy guy isn't just Overwatch. I'm sure he's very different. Let's look at his abilities. Huh. Well, that might just be a coincidence, and I'm sure the abilities have different names, so... Fuck! Fine. Let's look at some other characters. Let's see, we have a middle-aged man who can shoot arrows that show you enemies through the wall. Oh no. We have a Chinese woman who can make walls made of ice. Shit! You get the point. Now, having abilities that do the same thing as abilities in Overwatch is fine, but why does the theming have to be the same? Sova's Sonic Arrow didn't have to be an arrow, and Sage's walls could have been made of another material other than ice, like rocks or something. And Omen could have been somebody who isn't just literally Reaper. These similarities from Overwatch could be fixed given these few thematical changes, but that's not the only problems I have with these characters. One of my favorite things about Overwatch that Valorant didn't take is the amount of style every single character in Overwatch oozes. Each and every character is perfectly animated to give off their persona in-game through weapon movement, emotes, and idle animations. The voice interactions also give you bits and pieces of the story as well as the meaning behind some of the maps. There's an excellent video explaining all of this stuff by New Frame Plus. There will be a link in the description down below if you want to check that out, and I highly advise you do. But how does Valorant do this? Simple answer. It doesn't. Valorant is an eco-based game, so everyone uses the same guns, so they can't have their personalities portrayed through them. Some of the abilities can portray personality. A good example is Raze's grenade. This isn't for all characters though, and the voice lines are as generic as they can be.
How many times did I get ripped apart?
He even sounds like him? Are you kidding me? The maps also don't have any sort of life to them. Overwatch has these towns and cities that look like people actually live in them, and the Valorant maps are just maps for people to shoot each other in, and nothing more and nothing less. The Overwatch maps are also based around specific real-life cities and countries, meanwhile Valorant maps are... Alright, it's nitpick time. Why can't I quick switch? Why can I buy items in a beta? Why can I buy items? I can make a whole video about this one. Why is there no market if I can buy items? Why are the abilities not given more importance? Why does this game sometimes look like Play-Doh? Why do I have to unlock characters in a multiplayer competitive character-based shooter? Why are the rank icons so visually unappealing? Why are there a million ranks? Why can't I see my elo? Why am I playing this game opposed to CSGO or Overwatch alone? Are they going to polish this game? Probably not. I'd like to finish this video off by saying yes, once again, this game is in beta, and I'm sure some things will change, but with a release date set for summer, they really don't have that much time to fix a lot of the issues and shortcomings this game has. I really enjoy playing Valorant, and that is exactly why I want to see it become the game it has the potential to be, not just the stitched together cross-up it currently is. I hope you take these criticisms seriously and continue to enjoy the game regardless. This is, of course, just my opinion, and I hope you enjoyed hearing it. My name is Akron, and thank all 69 of you, nice, for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.